Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to Belal Muhammad up against Sean Brady at UFC 280. Arguably the card of the year. It's stacked. Are we going to see something special this weekend? It feels like it's building towards that.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think, probably the card of the year. And for me, I got to make a statement on this card. There's going to be so many eyes on this card, so many people ready to watch this card, excited for this card. So this is where, a diamond could come out of it. And I want to be that diamond that comes out of it. I want to be that next star that comes from this huge card. And I can't wait till Saturday night.
What was your first emotion when you see the name Sean Brady on the contract?
Next meal. I look at every opponent as every opponent brings something different to the table. Sean Brady's obviously undefeated. He's obviously got a lot of hype behind him. And for me, it's all about becoming champion. And I want to be the guy that beats everybody that put in front of me. I want to be the guy that laps the division. So if I go out here and I beat Sean Brady, I'm already beating 4 top 10 guys in the division. There's nobody else in the division that's doing that. All these other guys are fighting unranked guys. They're fighting guys that are on their way out, and I'm fighting the best of the best. My last fight was against Luque, who was on a 7-fight winning streak when I beat him. So I'm not sitting here waiting, picking and choosing. I'm sitting there like, all right, who's the best guy you got in front of me? I was trying to fight higher up in the rankings, obviously, but nobody wanted it. They would give it to somebody else. So I'm not going to sit here and complain. I'm not going to sit here on the sidelines. If I'm healthy, I want to be in the cage.
Your streak is pretty damn impressive when you mentioned Luque, names like that, Stephen Thompson, Damian Maia, these guys are legends. When you sit there, I was going to say, how does it feel to be the top 5 welterweight in the world? But do you see yourself as already kind of better than that right now? Like, how do you feel sitting there? Do you feel like the champion in waiting?
I feel like I'm definitely the champion. I feel like I'm the best guy in the division. And I think that it's inevitable. I'm going to have that belt wrapped around my waist, but I just got to keep proving these doubters wrong. And I got to keep proving my team right. We all know what I'm capable of, and the people around me know what I do. So it's just going out there and keep winning, keep performing, and I'm going to be undeniable. Like, they're going to have to give me that title fight. I'm going to have to force their hand to give me that fight. And once I do get that fight, I'm going to take that belt.
When you look at Brady, what do you see the biggest strengths and weaknesses as?
He's a grappler, obviously. Nothing really else comes out of it. His weaknesses are his tattoos. Looks very stupid with them. But other than that, I think that I'm just on another level. I think I'm on another level than everybody in this division. And I'm going to have to, Saturday night, a lot of eyes are going to open up even more because there's going to be no more excuses after this one. Every single fight I've been in an underdog. Even this fight right here, it's an underdog. So I'm just going to keep going out there and showing a different side of myself.
I saw the post on your Instagram saying with Khabib in your corner, how can you lose? I was fascinated to see your interview with Farah, kind of talking about the culture of some of those guys. And when you've been in the game a long time, sometimes I suppose, you have a certain way of doing things. This isn't your first rodeo, but do you feel like you've leveled up, learned something new? Like, has your ground and pound become more deadly working with that guy?
Yeah, for me, it's always evolving. It's always about getting better. Like, I didn't have to come out here and train with these guys. I could have stuck with my team. I've been winning with my team, doing the same exact thing every single time, but I wanted to get uncomfortable. That's where you grow even more. And to be the best in the world, you have to just keep growing. You have to have no ego. Once you go to the point where you think that you know it all, or you learned it all, or you don't need anything else, that's when you start losing. That's when you start falling off. And for me, it was always about getting better, getting better. Every camp, I want to get better. I want to show something else. Every camp, you bring something new to the table. Every camp, every fight opponent you have, you learn something new about yourself, and you learn something new in the game. Like, for Wonderboy, one of the best strikers in the world. For Maia, he's one of the best grapplers in the world. I had to adjust different things during camp, and that leveled me up already. And then for Luque, leveled up even more because he's good at everything. Now for this one, training with these guys for 5 weeks, leveled up even more. And it's all about just making myself a more complete fighter.
I heard you mention that Khabib was your idea of maybe the greatest ever fighter. Does he have it in him to be the GOAT when it comes to coaching?
Yeah, I think that there's some guys out here that can coach and not fight, and some guys that can fight and not coach, but he can do it all. He's very good at it. I think that, you know, he's been mentored and he's been taught by some of the best coaches in the world. And I think that his style of coaching, his knowledge, the vision that he has is special. There's some guys out there like, oh, he's just doing it for clout, or he has Khabib with him for clout or anything like that. Like, I didn't have to put him in my corner. I just know and I saw what he sees and how good he is in the corner as a coach. The knowledge he brings to the table is just another level.
You look fairly well, so I got to give you that. But I was wondering, have you recovered from the right cross from Hasbulla?
Yeah, my jaw was hurting for a little bit. After that, I was like, dang, this kid is strong. All right, he came out of nowhere. But it was hilarious, man. It was so good meeting him. He's such a cool dude.
Joining the UFC, I hear as well. That's an interesting one. What do you want to see? I'm sure what you want to see is a title shot after this, but would you be interested to see Leon fight Masvidal? Is that a more interesting fight, or do you think it's got to be the rematch for Usman?
Yeah, I don't want to see Masvidal get a title fight. Not out of like hatred for Masvidal. It just doesn't make any sense, and it's only going to hold up the division. I think Usman earned the title shot rematch, and if Usman is still going to sit out a little bit, then it should definitely be me, because I'm the only one. I've had the longest streak in the division. We have history. So it's the only thing that makes sense. Masvidal doesn't make sense at all. He's on a 3-fight losing streak. I know he has a big name, but how much are you going to just keep giving this guy title fights and he keeps losing? So there's no point.
Is there an inevitability about you one day fighting Khamzat Chimaev? All the spice seems to be there. You were game to do it when others weren't.
I mean, if he stays in the division, like I said, I'm going to have the belt around my waist and I take on all comers. I'm not a guy that picks and chooses. So if he's still out here, I'll let him challenge for my belt.
Have you got something prepared for the mic? Are you going to be calling your shot? Because it will likely be pretty deserved if you get through this convincingly, right?
Yeah, you know, of course. You know, usually I just let it come to me when it's after the fight. But we're always good on the mic anyway, regardless. So we'll definitely have a good time.
To wrap this up, we're going to do a quick fire about some of your UFC colleagues, if that's okay with you. Who's the best striker?
In the division or the UFC?
In the UFC.
Pereira.
Who's got the craziest kicks?
Wonder Boy.
Who's the funniest?
Jamal Hill.
Who's the most annoying?
Kobe.
Who's the hottest?
The hottest? Me.
Who would make the best movie star?
I think myself.
Who would you most like to have dinner with?
Corey Sandhagen.
Interesting, some of these answers. Why did you say Corey?
Because we met a couple times. He's very cool. I've had him on my podcast. He just seems like such a deep dude. I want to just like explore his mind, the way he talks, the way he thinks about war, about fighting. I love it. I love those type of things. I love guys that think that way, and just talking to him more, always getting different viewpoints, different knowledge is always a great thing.
Who's the best dresser?
Definitely not Usman. I would say maybe I would say myself.
Who has the highest fight IQ?
Oh, definitely me.
And who would you want by your side in a street fight?
In a street fight, Jared Gordon.
Who is the most interesting character?
The most interesting character, I would say Sandhagen.
Jared Gordon's been on like 3 street fights on camera. So he's got the record for that, right? That's a great
Yeah, I live with Jared. Jared's with me right now here. So yeah, I know in any street fight I need to have Jared next to me.
Amazing. And last one, who would be your dream fight?
My dream fight would be St-Pierre.
That'd be incredible. Yeah, absolute legend. Maximum respect, Belal Muhammad. You're the man. Good luck, man. Thanks a lot.